All right, so the first thing to say about this lesson is that in the description below are time codes that go through all parts of the lesson, including the rhythms and then the play-alongs. Okay, all of that is in standard tuning because I'm assuming most people want to play this out of standard tuning, don't want to have to tune their guitar down, okay? So if you want to skip ahead to the lesson in standard tuning, or you already know the chords that Daniel's using, and you want to skip ahead to the part about how the rhythms are used or the play-alongs, just go down to those portions in the time code. The one that starts the lesson on rhythms and standard tuning says standard tuning starting rhythms, okay? That's the beginning of the rhythm lesson. For now, let's go over how Nathaniel tunes his guitar, just in case you want to use the actual chords that he's playing. So he tunes his E down to E flat or D sharp. There's your E flat or D sharp. And your A down to A flat or G sharp. There it is. And then D down to D flat or C sharp. And then G down to G flat or F sharp. And then B down to A sharp or B flat. And then E again down to E flat or D sharp. Now Nathaniel is playing a C over G sound. That's what you hear, that sort of like crunchy C over G thing. It sounds beautiful with that G in the bass like that. So that shape is you have C being played by the pinky or pinky on 3 on the A string. The G is played by the 3rd finger on the 6th string, 3rd fret. And then this E right here is played by the 2nd finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret. Okay, that shape is consistent. When you move to F over C, that shape just moves over. So now the pinky's on the 3rd fret of the 4th string, the 3rd finger is on the 3rd string of the 5th fret, and the 2nd finger is now on the 2nd fret of the G string. And then when you play the G, you just move that up 2 frets to where these 2 fingers are on the 2nd dot, and this one is in between the 1st and 2nd dot, and that shape stays in it the whole time, okay? With the C over G, you also have an open G string and the C being played by the 1st finger. When you go to F over C, that 1st finger, everything is the same. This shape remains the same, like I just said. And the 1st finger stays on the C. And I think he's probably gripping the guitar like a baseball bat, you know, like a lot of singer-songwriters do when they're doing these kind of chords. And this E string gets muted by the underside of this finger. Okay, so you can't hear the E, that F major sound that sounds like, you know, that's a popular tune that uses that sound. I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, that F over C with this string muted, the E string muted, and then you just take that same shape that you're making there with the F over C and slide it up to G. Okay, and that's the 3 chords that are used for most of the time in the tune. Okay, now when it goes to the bridge, with it tuned down a half step, it's much easier because you just play an A minor to G. A minor to G, then it's F to C at the end of the bridge, and then back to this. Okay, and the ending of the piece is like this. I play the progression one time, so it's just C to F to C. That's the ending of the piece of music. Okay, so that's pretty much outlining all of the chords, or it is outlining all the chords that Daniel uses for his interpretation of this piece of music. Skipping ahead, if you want to know, the C over G is capo 2A, okay? The F over C is capo 2D. And then in standard tuning, the C over G in standard tuning is capo 2A. In standard tuning, the F over C that's tuned down a half step, it gets so complicated, is standard tuning E. And then the half step tuned down G chord is standard tuning E, capo 2 E. And then when you get to the bridge, and tuned down a half step is A minor is actually standard tuning capo to F sharp minor, okay, or 2, the minor that's 2 frets up from the capo, okay. It sounds a lot more confusing than it is. It's actually really easy to follow. So even if you do not want to if you tune down a half step, you can follow the rhythms that I'm teaching with the capo 2 version, okay? I made this video for a student of mine named Gunnar, and Gunnar wants to do it out of standard tuning, so I think most other people will too. So I hope you enjoy the video. I hope it really helps you to learn this tune. There's 2 play-alongs, and you just play along with me with the whole song, and I think it's pretty easy. I think it's easy and fun. So, all right, enjoy it. If you have any problems or concerns or you want some help with it, you feel free to email me at bobby@thehallsofmusic.com. Okay, first I want to talk about the rhythm to this. It's very simple. It's a very typical American thing. You have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the beats, the main motive or rhythmic motive that's underlying this piece is on 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and on the 1 and the and of 2. Okay, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4, and that's what you hear underneath this piece the whole time for the most part, okay? Except for the very ending, which I'm probably going to miss, but it's just A, D, A. Anyway, so that's the rhythm, 1 and the and of 2. You can add other strums to it, but if you get just that down with downstrokes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That'll give you the fundamental root of this piece rhythmically. You can then feel like you're actually playing the piece of music by playing just that motive. You don't have to do anything else. So with the chords, we have A, capo 2, obviously, A, which is the chord B, literally, and then D with capo 2 is a D shape, but it's actually literally the chord E. So if you look this tune up, it's going to be in the key of B. You have B, A, D, and E are the chord shapes for all the singing. Those literal chords are the A shape is actually a B chord, the D shape is actually an E chord, and the E shape is actually F sharp. Now during the, but all you really have to remember is A, D, and E. That's it. Then during the bridge or instrumental section or whatever you want to call it, you have an F sharp, which is not easy to do. You bar the whole 2nd fret, and then you're going to put your 3rd finger down on the 5th string, 1, 2, 3, 4th fret from the capo, and then your pinky is going to go on the 4th string, 4th fret from the capo, and that's it. And you're going to bar, these 3 strings are going to be heard, and that string is going to be heard, and these 2. Then it goes F sharp, E. That's the bridge or instrumental section. Then I think the instrumental section ends with this E, back to the 1 chord, then is the ending, A, D, A. All right, so I'm going to do 2 playthroughs. I'll do the simple, just motive of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3. And this is swung. This piece is swinging 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So I'll do that the first time. Then the second time through, I'm going to do there I'm doing a 1 and 2 and the and is actually coming up on an upstroke. So 1 down up down up down up down up down up. I'm doing like a muted type thing that's kind of complicated. My best guess of teaching all of this without me having to just break it down is just go for it, man, and do the best you can with it. First playthrough is with the simple motive, then I'll do a playthrough with the more complicated, and then that'll be it for this video. Here we go.
Last night in the Parlor, and I ain't got a boys in the band. And I stood there in the corner, and I wait for the feeling to dance. Every woman and every baby, and they call them all you can. And you there, on a swing, with a beat they clap in your hand. I said, hey man, holler, twist it, holler, move your feet if you can. On this island in the corner, now wait for the feeling to dance. I said,
Here comes the instrumental part.
it was last night in the Parlor, how they gave all the hell that they had. Don't you dare, don't you want it, I'll twist and shake it again. I said, hey man, holler, twist and holler, move your feet if you can. Don't you stand there in the corner, now wait for the feeling to dance. I said,
I missed it. I knew I was going to miss the ending. All right, so if you just get that motive down and you can do that, you know, like it's breathing, you know, like I could probably talk over it, right? Just do this where I mean, it's nothing for me to do this motive. And carry on a conversation, pay attention to my cat. You want to get it that, you know, rooted inside of you, that motive. And then the extra things, that's how I would strum this piece of music. Everybody's different. Everybody's going to have a little bit different interpretation of that. But that gives you sort of like something to think about, you know, on your own. You come up with your own little thing to add to the right? So I'll do a little complicated playthrough with the complicated pattern. In case you want to get hip to that, you can always slow YouTube down. So here we go with the complicated pattern. Here we go. I think it's what he's playing actually.
last night in the Parlor, and I ain't got the boys in the band. But I stood there in the corner, and I wait for the feeling to dance. Every woman and every baby, and they call them all you can. And you there, on a swing, with a beat they clap in your hand. I said, hey man, holler, twist it,
last minute advice with this strum pattern. The idea that you can get your continuous motion going with your right hand is really very helpful. What this equates to in music, if you're going to be analytical, this is eighth notes. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, and my hand is following that pattern just by over and over doing that. So when I do the my hand is already in motion for every little eighth note that comes along. So the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, that happens with an upstroke on the and of 2 this time, because my hand is going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and this and is the upstroke. So that's what makes that pattern work, is that continuous motion of the right hand. Okay, that's really essential to a lot of rhythm guitar stuff like this. Is this being able to have a continuous eighth notes or 16th notes going with your right hand, most of the time eighth notes. So yeah, anyway, yeah. Remember, you can always give me a text or a call or email me if you have any questions about this video or things that are related to this lesson. I'll be happy to try to help. Bye.